Yo, what's up, nerds? It is Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 6 action here on SpeedGaming Prime. My name is Tyler Salt. We have this race between the Spoilers and the Noble Foxes. Shady Force being piloted by Zelgadasan and Hayfield Bay being piloted by Nobly. Once again, my name is Tyler Salt, joined in the booth by Will WC. Will, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's Spoiler Pilot Week, Tyler.
Yay! I love this mode.
I do too.
Don't, but I do. Yeah, so if you haven't seen one of these before, Shady and Zelda and Hayfield and Nobly are in a voice call together. The Shady and Hayfield are playing the game, and then the other runners or the other team members, the pilots, will have the spoiler log, which they can communicate as much as they want via voice to their runners, and we have to and they have to then finish the game. So should see some low percent execution here. Should be a good time. You might see the pilots in chat. They are allowed to be there this week. It is fine.
Yep. So this is the 1 week that is kind of different from all of the other races. The runners can have information on what the other runner is doing, and the pilots can watch. So the runners will know who is ahead and who is behind at some point in this race, and be able to adjust accordingly. We may see certain things that the pilots can do to adjust, either to skip or go for certain safety items, to route things in different ways. But yeah, in general, Spoiler is a lot about the balance of, getting the items that you need to complete the seed as fast as possible, while, making sure you meet the requirements for each of the places you're going, while balancing giving your runner, enough to do what they can do quickly.
And not die.
Yeah.
Slowing. Yeah. Dying is slow. So like figuring out what level of safeties you can afford to get, what you can afford to skip will be important. Here we go. We are off. You will often see a little bit of early, just kind of routing and opening chests, just to give the pilot a chance to start working through the log here.
Yeah, so we see both runners start at Link's house, but then Shady quickly saves and quits up to Sanctuary, just getting the 2 free save and quit items. Hayfield's going to come in from the south. He's going to get 1 bomb here from the bushes south of the grove. Well, we're going to see Shady head up into the Lost Woods. So already a little bit of divergence.
Shout out to our tracker Pixcalibur, who's already marked the nice powder on library. That's fun. Who's already marked the crystals for us and pendants. So we've got red crystals at Hera and Meyer, and green pendant Skull Woods, pendant Thieves, pendant TR.
Yeah, Pendant TR is always an interesting sight. Flippers and Glove there in the Lost Woods for Shady, and we've got a Pod Big Key out of the back of Tavern for Hayfield. So all of those things are things we're going to need today. But yeah, so yeah, like you said, we've got the crystals and pendants marked because those are in the log. The runners will not be doing any map checks to look for those themselves.
Nice 50-50 there for Shady.
Yeah, getting a bomb, heading into Kakariko here. We see Hayfield not using his bomb to open the back here, and he does find 3 more in the well. So, nice to be able to get through the well here, and then we'll see what is in Blind's hut first on Shady's side, but with Hayfield heading in right after him.
Yeah, and not using the bomb there either.
There's our bombos that'll get us into both Meyer and TR later on.
Oh, that's true. All right.
As well as a Moon Pearl and our first heart container of the seed. So hopefully, certainly as a runner in this mode, you'd love to see little heart containers and even heart pieces along the way like that. But
Hayfield saving and quitting out of Blind's hut is going to try to grab those flippers and glove from Lost Woods later. Yes, please, no spoilers in chat. I don't think that you were going to, but the spoiler log is available if you go to the race room, if you want to see it. Will has it. I am not looking at it, but please, no spoilers in chat. Thank you.
Yeah, I do have it open. I will not be sitting here just like reading from it, but we'll try and add context to things as we go along here. There's certainly a few interesting locations right off the right off the bat here.
Yeah, Beer and Moogle in chat is like, oh boy, we're in for it now.
Yep. So we got our first pod small key out of the dam here. And looks like we're going for the sunken treasure item as well. That's a hook shot. We probably want that.
Yeah, that's a nice item.
And looks like we are heading east, so presumably a mini Moldorm play. We're not even bothering to pick up the bush crab here. I don't know what's in it, but must be junk because it's in the just hearts on the bush crab today. So not much that we need, especially at this point in the seed. But all of that information is available to the 2 pilots in the spoiler logs.
Yeah, but and to be clear, the runners are not permitted to look at the spoiler log or at like a shared document or something. All of the communication between the runner and the pilot needs to be done over voice.
Correct. We see a save and quit out of Mini Moldorm Cave. We got a sword there. We got another heart container. We got another 20 rupees, getting us all the way up to 50 rupees. That can buy us 1/10 of a Zora item. I wonder if that'll be relevant later.
Yeah. This is the Mario Paint MSU from Shady Force, by the way. Shoutouts to Mario Paint.
And now we see Hayfield kind of cleaning up on that the Lost Woods checks that Shady Force took care of earlier, as Shady takes care of Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, actually, I like this from Hayfield. Obviously, Nobly got, or I can guess that maybe Nobly got that this information quicker, that the hook shot was down there, and was able to maybe say, it's like, all right, well, now we've got a sword and the glove and the hook shot. Now we can go up the mountain here from Lost Woods.
Yeah, and if that is the play, and it certainly seems like they both could be heading in that direction here, if that's the play, they're both going to get there at about the same time, it looks like.
Yeah, so. I think Shady looks like we'll be there a little bit sooner, but it's pretty close. Yeah,
it's really going to be about a screen transition difference here, so still pretty close given where we are in this one.
Nice bomb there, Shady. It's good.
But yeah, so what can we do up on the mountain? Well, we've got a hook shot, so we've got Spectacle Rock Cave and the Old Man here on the way, but Paradox Cave is available to us, Spiral Cave is available to us. If we find Mitts up here, then all of a sudden Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave are both also available. So decent chance that we could be heading towards Mitts up here. Old Man with a red rupee reward for getting him back home. And Shady
this MSU is great. It's very cozy. I like it.
It works so well with the cursor sprite as well.
It does.
But yeah, we are coming up here for Spectacle Rock Cave, because that's the only thing we can get right now with the items we have. And it is a big key.
All right.
Let's see which one it is.
It's a big key to Thieves Town. Nice one to have. All right, Hayfield saving and quitting instead of doing the bomb jump and just saving and quitting instead.
All right, we actually get a live timing on is it faster to bomb jump out of Spec Rock Cave?
I mean, it's definitely it's faster to bomb jump if you get it. And it's faster to save and quit if you don't.
Like a lot of things in this game, they're a lot faster if you do it right.
Yeah, exactly.
And we are indeed heading into Paradox Cave. Of course, 7 items up for grabs here, but we're not caring too much about those 2.
Nope. Goodbye.
I can tell you, though, there's plenty up here in this room for us to grab.
Nice. What are our goodies here in Paradox Cave? We get $20. Let's go. Ooh, Master Sword's good. 6 hearts already? Wow. A bow and the Titan Smiths. Wow.
Yep. And at least on Shady's side, we're done here. It looks like the same for Hayfield. So we are not going into Hookshot Super Bunny right now. And we're not coming back to the same place here either. We've got Shady heading to the east from Link's house, and Hayfield heading west from Sanctuary. I assume this is a play into Dark World through the village for Hayfield. But I have not figured out exactly where
Eastern?
Shady is heading. It must be Eastern based on this.
Oh, nope, it's Saha.
Okay.
Whoop.
What do we have in the back of Sahasralo's hut? We got a Burna and a tempered sword. Okay.
Interesting.
Obviously, neither of those are immediate progression, although an invincibility item and a tempered sword is, you're never going to complain about those, especially as a runner.
No, and swords are fast, like they will definitely help you go faster on a lot of boss fights, and so if you can get a free tempered sword, do it, I say.
Yep. Meanwhile, we have Hayfield heading into Thieves Town here, trying to navigate his way through the front 4 chests here to figure out which ones he actually needs. And then we do have the big key here, so we can go to the back of this dungeon.
And that's where we're headed.
And again, this is Pendant Thieves, so you are free to speculate on are we coming back here just for items? Are we coming back here to potentially set something up later on in this one?
Oh, okay, Shady. Coming into Eastern for 300 rupees, it seems.
Yeah, that was a big comfy trip over to the Eastern area, but not a lot of progression. Just tempered sword Burna and $300.
And we're heading to back of escape here. Or are we hula-hanning? No, we're hula-hanning. All right, Zora. What does Zora have for us today?
Well, that is certainly what we are hinting at right now with this play for money on Shady's side.
It would not be anything else. There is a Eastern Big in Thieves Town, so this is already, I think, a little bit of a nice route by Hayfield. We'll be able to single dip Eastern.
The irony is that Hayfield is the one who's going to get the single dip Eastern, and Shady is the one who has the Eastern Palace dippable emote. But that's neither here nor there. Shady is hopping in the water with those flippers and going to swim right along to Zora. It doesn't even look like we're stopping to see the waterfall fairy. We are going straight for Zora. Gotta think, I peeked the log here, but even if you haven't, you got to think we're going here either for boots or for flute. One
would think, yeah.
And we see that our stun prize is 5 arrows. That will probably not be too useful to our runners today, but still good to have that information.
Watch this be something dumb like the GT Big Key or something.
If it is, I'm gonna.
No,
there's our flute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's a little too early to be chasing
Yeah, I would
anything
think so.
that doesn't give
I
you
would
a
think
speed
so.
advantage.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, we're seeing Hayfield. We picked up Blind here, and we're going all the way to her room. And so we are going to get a Thieves Town clear out of this.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Clearing pendant thieves in a spoiler seed. Very sus. Yeah, I think I'm with Moogle here. If that is the flute, you got to get it immediately or much, much later, I think. This is a weird time to do it. But, I mean, maybe there's, you know... Oh, nice hammer on Blind. Excellent.
Yes, that is indeed a hammer on Blind. Thank you, game, for that one. I'm curious where the where the small
that
key
Thieves
was.
Town
That
small
puts it...
key? Yeah.
Oh no! Yeah, we're never seeing that Thieves Town small key.
Where indeed is that Thieves Town small key?
It is at the Catfish.
Ah, yeah, no, goodbye.
And now we are heading to the Mire area for Shady. No mirror yet, so right now this is just Mire Shed or Mire itself.
And we're headed into Juice Town.
We are headed into Misery Mire with no fire source, no Samaria, and no big key. That's the thing I was trying to think of. Yeah.
Boots and cutscene chest? Oh, we don't have a fire source.
Boots somewhere? Yeah, who knows? Meanwhile, we see Hayfield heading over to Eastern here. I would not be surprised to see him grab that 300 out of the map chest, but I would be very surprised if we saw him save and quit there, as we saw on Shady's side.
That would be odd.
He will be going to complete this dungeon here.
I would think that well, obviously Shady didn't have the big key, which is in the attic chest of Thieves Town, but you know, maybe they were thinking, let's get this money. It's the best money, the easiest way we're gonna get Zora money, and then we'll come back here with the boots later, and maybe be able to combine it with Pod.
Yeah, and from a quick skim of the spoiler log, there was not another 300 that was going to be available to them anywhere else in the seed for a very long time.
All right, so that makes a lot of sense then. What do we have here in Misery Mire? Ah, a mirror. Good.
All right, so we are in and we are out now with that mirror.
And we are mirroring. Are we fluting? We're fluting. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, if you're gonna make these plays that the spoilers are playing or are making for, you know, some of these travel advantage items early versus some, you know, whereas Hayfield has just been go clear dungeons, get the hammer. Yeah, that was a castle tower small key. That's not concerning at all, right?
Nope.
Great. But yeah, so you do see a little bit of a difference here in philosophy with Shady getting that flute, getting the mirror before coming into Dark World pretty much at all here. Whereas Hayfield is now well into his second dungeon.
Do you have an opinion about which approach is better? What is your team? What is Pagog's
it's one of those
philosophy on this?
It's one of those, it depends on the seed, and you know, as someone who is usually the pilot for our team, it depends on, you know, what kind of flow, where you're at. You're not even at this point trying to gauge it off of where the opponent is and what they're doing. You just don't have the bandwidth to monitor that sort of stuff. You're just trying to think, you know, it may be just a gut decision on, I'm already here in this area, let's get this knocked out with it. Or, you know, if we're going to commit to, you know, in the case of Shady and Zelga, if we're going to commit to going and getting money and getting this flute from Zora early, you know, you're going to do things that take the most advantage of that play. And that probably does include having the mirror to go with it, so you can get that mobility advantage for as much of the seat as possible.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, wow. Hayfield not getting the tempered sword from Saha. Interesting.
That is an interesting choice. Obviously, now we know where Mirror is, so it could be something that he saves and does with, goes and gets that mirror out of Misery Mire.
Does it with Pod, yeah.
Does it with Pod later. But it looks like right now we are heading up to Hyrule Castle, and we do have that one CT small key that we just collected out of the Eastern Big Chest.
That seems plausible as to where we're going for that. Boots up here, maybe? That'd be fun.
Yeah, we're just going straight for Castle Tower here. We're not even piddling around with anything at Uncle, anything in Hyrule Castle. Good news is this probably tells us we're not doing Aka 1 today.
Certainly seems that way, yeah. Unless vanilla Castle Tower key.
Oh, why would you speak that into the world? All right,
pod
small key. Okay,
right.
That is presumably not what we came here for.
That would be weird, yeah.
All right, got a Bombos usage to clear out the maze room here. And meanwhile, Shady Force making his way to get the hammer here as Hayfield Bay picks up his boots at 19 minutes out of the second chest of Castle Tower.
Game is playable.
The other Castle Tower key, if you're wondering, is in the big chest of GT. So
excellent.
Yeah.
All right, here's that Houlihan from Hayfield. So he's gonna go get his flute.
Yeah, so that Eastern Big Key does prove quite important for Hayfield to have that single dip of Eastern there, actually getting him to the boots much quicker. Whereas we saw the double dip from Shady that got the flute early, but will extend the time to boots a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean, like I looking at this, I think that the Fox's route is a little bit stronger here at this point, but like you can't. Their team name is the Spoilers, okay? Like these guys are incredibly good at this mode.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of advantage. I mean, the plus mirror combination is not insignificant. We're seeing Smith Chain here from Shady, which we have not seen either piece of from Hayfield Bay side with this or Purple Chest.
Right,
and we obviously speeds this up a ton.
Yeah, and so does the flute. And I think that there's our big key to Skull Woods. Interesting. I think that also. Boots are important in every mode, right? But I think that in a mode like this where it's spoiler and it's going to be a bit of a shorter run, there's just less time for boots to be to build up advantages.
That is,
you can think about it that
I
way.
agree with that, and I mean, this race might be a little bit different from a lot of spoiler races in that I think we're going to see a few minutes gap between the boots, obviously for Hayfield and for Shady.
Those boots are required, though. There's Arcane of Samaria in Bonk Rocks.
Yeah, and we're going to see almost immediately here what's in this Skullwood's big chest. And that is another big key, this one to Desert Palace, and that one we do definitely need, so...
Nice half magic there as well. Good safety to pick up.
Yeah, we love a good free safety like that. As we see the flute activation for Hayfield Bay and a quick drop into the bumper chest. Or pinball chest, I guess is the correct name, but... Another pod small key and a save and quit there.
That's three pod keys, I believe. Who's piloting? Shady Force is being piloted by Zelda-san, and Hayfield Bay is being piloted by Nobly. Bit of a think there, but we're headed to pod, it seems.
Yeah, well, we've got everything. We certainly have a completable pod right now on Shady's side, and we've got the mirror to go back into Eastern and do that. Meanwhile, we're going to see the advantage of that mirror here kind of played out a little bit as Hayfield is having to do save and quit, flute back to Kakariko to return the Smith here.
I wonder where that Meyer big key is, because with that cane, Noble Foxes might be trying to put off going to Misery Mire for that mirror until they can beat it.
That is a good point, yeah. And well, I can I won't give it all away, but I can say that you are not escaping a Meyer double dip in this seed.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, we are going to get our first look into the Palace of Darkness here on the spoiler side as Hayfield gets his Skullwoods big key that will eventually lead to his Desert big key as well. Not opening anything in the front so far, just heading straight to the back here.
Silvers, okay, and we're out.
All right, bow and pod. That's never happened before. Anything else in here?
Oh, I don't think so.
Well,
I think we're done.
Looking at the log, there is a little bit more in here, but we're not going to see Shady force grabbing it. I think very strong chance we do see Hayfield grabbing it, though. There is a sword in the dark basement. So
okay.
It's possible that Hayfield and Nobly could have seen that one and said, hey, just hang on, I'll get you tempered there, versus the Saha trip earlier.
Yeah. I think the Saha is faster, but I guess it's close. If you're going back there for the... Oh, Shady didn't get that.
That was the Swamp Small Key out of the Pot Prison chest in Skull Woods on Hayfield's side. And yeah, that did not get picked up by the spoilers there. We saw a little bit of indecision coming out of the front entrance there before Shady dropped into the pinball room. It's possible that could have been a misinstruction.
Yeah.
Or a miscommunication of some sort there as far as which hole to drop into. Because...
But it must be that they're gonna be going back there for something else later.
Right. Obviously, it's not like way out of the way to get to, especially if you can pick up a Skullwood small key, then that'll be pretty brief. But yeah, otherwise there's nothing else that we are required to go back to Skullwood.
You know what? I bet Hayfield's gonna get that. So I wonder if there's something on Moth, or the Green Pendant, which would have Hayfield be skipping Saha until we have the Green Pendant to pick that up and the sword at the same time.
That's a theory as well. Yeah. Anyway, Shady.
Yeah, you need the.
We kind of talked over it there, but he did a good job handling the fully dark backup pod there, including the turtle room there.
Is that a Bombos strat? I think I saw him do.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
And at the same time that we see Shady taking on Helmasaur here and getting his first crystal, we see Hayfield about to get his mirror here out of the lobby chest of Misery Mire. And we have a big key to Hera on Helmasaur. No idea if that will actually be a required big key today. We do have did have an early hook shot, so there is the Hera pot possibility of completing Tower of Hera. Yep. But if there's something in the big chest, obviously we've got it. That could be required. Yeah.
Yep. All right, Shady, gonna head in and finish Eastern Palace here. Gonna pick up that Castle Tower small in the big chest to facilitate getting those boots from the Dark Maze.
Yep, and looks like we're going to see Hayfield come down here.
This seems like swamp to me.
Yeah, this sure does. We do have everything for swamp here now. And yeah, it looks exactly like where we are headed.
And we can, absent or minus the big chest, we can full clear this.
Yep, and I can safely say that big chest is not something we will be coming back for.
Yeah, I think I'm with Moogle here. I would much rather have a tempered sword for swamp. I think it just makes Argus so much easier and so much faster.
It is, yeah. I was gonna say just speed wise, Argus is greatly helped by the presence of a tempered sword. Even whether you're doing the trying to go for the 0 cycle strats or whether you're just hooking and slashing like I do. Either way, you're gonna want that. Shady having a little bit of trouble finding the Igor in this room to drop his key.
But
ends up
with
getting him with the spin, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a specky clip here from Hayfield Bay.
Man, I would not. I don't like that setup at all. But got it. And yeah, Maniacal, we have had very wild divergence in this sea, which is really fun to see in Spoiler. These guys haven't done the same thing at the same time since TAC. It's been great.
Yeah, we really have been on very different paths since both runners went up to the mountain together, and since then they've been going in pretty opposite directions.
Yep. There's your Misery Mire big key.
Yep.
Mirror locked.
Mirror locked behind the mirror in Misery Mire. Say that 5 times fast, I dare you.
Mirror Misery Mire. Mirror Misery Mire. Mirror Misery Mire. Mirror Misery Mire. Mirror Misery Mire.
All right. Silver's going to make nice quick work for Shady there of Armos. Going to be a second crystal for him. And then Hayfield now already in the back of Swamp. And get his green potion there out of the Diver Down chest. Take that. Always a nice safety to have, even with the half magic that we got earlier.
Yep. Green is pretty good. A little bit of a miss flute there from Shady. And we're fluting to 4. We're going to go get those boots.
Yep, that makes sense. Following up that, getting the castle tower key. Makes perfect sense. But still going to be kind of like what we said, about a 12-minute difference from when Hayfield picked those up to when Shady is getting them now. So
yeah, but that's like what? Like just over a minute that Hayfield saved? Like in Spoiler, that could be a lot, But
yeah. It's really tough to gauge because there's a few, obviously there's several differences in the loadouts between the two. It's not just a 1-for-1.
Right.
He did, one did this dungeon with boots and the other one did it without boots, and that's the only difference. Obviously Flute and Mirror pickups had some differences. Silver Arrows here for Shady have been making a difference. Mm-hmm. So there are, little things like that.
You're certainly gonna, the sword difference for sure. We saw making a difference on Argus there. Nice lamp.
Yeah, so lamp there on Argus. That's our first fire source, and fire rod technically not required in this one, given that we have pendants at Skull and TR.
Unless you've got something that we need over on the right side of GT. That would only be a logical requirement, of course.
That's true. But yeah, we haven't seen a GT big key yet, so who knows?
All right, Hayfield headed to Pod. Now, Zelga in chat, the Swamp Small Miss is on me, not Shady. So thank you for your honesty and integrity telling us that, Zelga. We appreciate it. Yeah, good luck the rest of the seed.
Yeah, this is can confirm, having run 2 races yesterday, this is as tense as it gets both for runner and for pilot, and it's very, very easy to have a small mistake that leaves everyone wondering, hey, what was that on purpose? Was that is that a choice you made? No, we just overlooked it.
No, we messed
just
up.
Had a miscommunication, or yeah.
This mode, my two teammates, Dr. Earworm and Timp. Any Go Mode podcast fans will know how Timp feels about this mode if you've listened to the most recent episode. And Doc was telling me he was having stress dreams about this mode. So it's this mode is hard.
Like, I'm not saying I schedule my races early this week just to get that stress over with. But, it is nice because that it's Wednesday and we're done. There's the Swamp Small Key for Shady Force. And they're the silver arrows.
And
for
he's
Hayfield.
getting he's gonna get his sword here in the dark basement as you suggested.
Yeah. So sword advantage is nullified there for Shady, although he did get to enjoy the extra, 10-15 minutes with that sword out of Saha that Hayfield did not have tempered. It will present an advantage here, especially as Shady is heading into Swamp Palace. I think that that Argus fight will be an opportunity to make up some time for them. As we see Hayfield heading into the back here. Of course, Hayfield will have Lamp for backup pod, which will make that certainly easier than the lampless, fire rodless version of the back that Shady did.
Yes. We'll be able to, but I mean, Shady did that pretty dang quickly. So
yes, he did, and yeah, the Bombo strat. If you can get it cleanly in the Turtles room, that's really the room where you have the potential to lose the most times. If you can get through there, sacrificing a few extra seconds for the medallion animation, that's perfectly fine. Just you have to have a runner who has the chops to pull that off and the confidence to do that on maybe 4 to 6 hearts.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always a little scary.
Yeah, I think we are about to come together on this seed here for the rest of the race, I think, or at least for the next portion of it.
Yeah, this will be a good opportunity to see exactly where we stand in this race. I think they'll be pretty much evened up on equipment and crystal clears and even the dungeon clears at the point where both of them finish their current crystal dungeons. It doesn't look like Hayfield will be a little bit ahead, but still, we still got dungeons to clear, 4 of them at least, plus GT climb, and we've got a few items left to find, including that GT big key. So we will see how this plays out.
I mean, what do we still need? Like, it's really just, I think it's just the GT big key. If there's nothing,
I think in terms of strictly required, we've got a way into desert, we've got Hera, we've got swamp, we've got ice, we got mire. So yeah, we've got what we need to do it. Obviously, you'd love to have a little bit more than 6 hearts green mail. You'd love to have maybe a fire rod if one shows up on the way. This is going to be about a minute difference, I think, between the runners, which is coincidentally the amount of time that I said that Hayfield saved with the boots earlier on average. So, All right. Shady does have to be a little bit careful with his health here. These low percentage fights can...
Yeah.
It doesn't take much for one of these bosses that deals 2 hearts of damage a chunk to wipe out a health meter, but he gets Argus down, gets his lamp, and gets his 3rd crystal.
That was a good arrow pickup by Hayfield. Those little arrow pot to make sure you've got enough for Viddy.
Yeah, and that's...
I think Chad is right though. The Swamp Palace small is probably the bigger difference.
Yeah,
they had to make that extra. This would be really, really close without that. So yeah, so we are just about a little bit over a minute apart.
And yeah, we're gonna see. I think from this point on, I've already seen chat confirm it, but yeah, GT Big Key is going to be on the way for us. So this really is pretty much just down to the runners at this point. There is some opportunity for the pilots to still be giving information to their runners about where their opponent is, maybe certain safeties or alternative plays that can be made at this point to, try to catch up ground on Shady's side, or to, be a little more conservative and play safely on Hayfield's side. But
this is about the time when Nobly and Zelga are probably starting to pay a little bit more attention to the restream or to their opponent's stream, to just keep an eye on him. Keep a handle on the time difference between the runners. Start looking at those safeties as well to see which of those that you can afford to get, which you can afford to skip. Shady is definitely nice prize on the eyes. Arrows.
Yeah, prize on the eyes. Shout out. He didn't even do that the normal way that you do it, by stunning the eyes and the eyes themselves, because he doesn't even have the boomerang.
Hayfield is the people's champ for doing prize on the eyes.
He must have set that up a couple rooms earlier even than that, and I didn't notice. But that's yeah, we love a good arrow refill in the middle of your arrow pity fight.
Desert is empty. We're just doing land mow here.
Yeah, the Meyer Desert combo here is going to be 2 very quick crystals for Hayfield Bay and for Nobly. As we see Shady making his way into Vitreous here as well.
Nice Meyer smile on Biddy.
It's always, it's no hammer on blind, but it's still pretty.
It just means that that means that Meyer is cane locked, right?
It does mean that, technically.
Very nice Landmo one there by Hayfield. Nice free blue mail too. Let's go.
Heading over to Ice Palace here. Makes sense. We'll finish up with... Runners love to finish with Tower of Hera here, because you can just step back out of your portal and be directly at the GT entrance. Still no Fire Rod, though, so we're bombosing our way through Ice Palace today.
Hopefully we don't have to actually do much in here.
And we do not have a big key, but we do have a cane, so we can hit the switch here and go through the icebreaker route. Or we can do that.
Okay. Probably should be hitting the switch here, right?
Yes. This is going to run into problems.
Oh, look, it's the big key to this dungeon.
Oh, that's cute. That's clever. Okay.
Vanilla Ice Palace big key.
Never mind. I have the log open. Didn't think to look for that one.
Never.
All right.
Never any doubt.
All right. Yeah. Once again, Nobly showing me that, maybe we should just, trust Nobly.
Just Nobly, yeah. I blame Nobly. Stop messing with the restream.
But yeah, that's one of those things that's good awareness by the pilot to recognize that, and we're gonna see the same here from Shady and Zelga, no surprise. But little time saves like that can make a difference in this mode as the pilot.
There's a little bit of time save. Shady had a much nicer, much faster icebreaker than Hayfield did. Saved a couple seconds there.
This will give us a nice idea of where we're at, heading up the mountain here, coming out of Ice Palace. It's still pretty close here.
Yeah, this is not at all over. Oh, yikes.
Okay, one more.
We're in Oko.
Oak something.
There we go. All right.
He got 7 of the hits in on all of the puffs, and then it got a little bit sideways. And oh, by the way, there's our GT big key. So
just in time.
That is go mode. Meanwhile, Shady's going to be dropping into this room just as Hayfield warps out with the crystal. So, with a clean cold stare fight, this may well be within shouting range.
44:03. Hayfield comes out of Ice Palace.
Yeah, and Hayfield choosing to mirror and flute up to 1. You could see even a small time save here from Shady choosing to save and quit back to the old man save and quit point.
Not going to save a ton of time there on Cold Stare.
There's Crystal 6 and the GT big key for Shady as well.
I think, though, has picked up about 20 seconds. 15 seconds, maybe. And gonna save and quit as well.
So yeah, we're gonna see. I mean, there's a possibility that little differences in how they route the mountain, how they even navigating some of the boulders up here, stuff like that. We're still in play here. It's gonna take, I think, some amount of a mistake, but we are gonna see a different route up the mountain here from Shady Force. So
this is weird.
I am a little surprised by this, but
yeah, Fire Rod is here in Hera. Why is Shady doing this first? I don't like this at all.
Well, he's going to be first to 7 crystals. That's worth something. Not in like the league statistics or anything, but it's worth something.
Chat, this is the superiority of Breadpot, people. This is the superiority of the newest Breadpot setup, that newest Hairpot setup. It's free. It's free. Like, even if you are really consistent with the boot setup there, right? Sometimes you just pound your head into that pot a couple of times, like over and over, like Hayfield just did. Breadpot is easy first time every time. I disagree that the boot setup looks cooler. I think it looks more frustrating, but
it's so fast. Anyway, Crystal 7 for both runners.
Right.
Shady's going to have to go back and get into the Dark World here, so he's going to be running over to the top of TR. Hayfield will be our first runner into GT here. We have GT big key in hand. We will need a small key.
Oh no, Dead Rock.
Dead Rocks. All right. So we will see GT entry for Hayfield here. Be 4730-ish, give or take.
47-28.
Yep. And then we'll see what it's like for Shady. Presumably no GT small keys available in Mini Helma Room today, so we will come and just pick up the one from the pot over here. As Shady gets to his crystal animation in front of GT.
But yep, this is Hayfield's race to lose, the Fox's race to lose. With a clean climb and clean Ganon, they will have it. But and Moldorm 2, there's all sorts of things that could go wrong here. Shady has been consistently making up time this whole time.
Right, we went from 1:10 to about 36 seconds on GT entry here. Just the question is just, are there 36 seconds to save without, some sort of, on pure execution alone, or is it going to take a mistake of some sort from Hayfield here for Shady to get back in, get back into this and really put the pressure on? This is more than just an Aga 2 cycle or a Landmo cycle.
Where are those GT small keys?
That's a good question. One of them was in the big key chest of GT, which is cute. One was in Mimic Cave, which we were never getting. One was in Hookshot Cave, and one was in the back of Escape.
All right. Shady lost a little time, had a tough time with Mimics too, unfortunately. Shady's a little low on arrows too.
Yeah, that is a good point. He's not, unless he gets a drop here or remembers the stun prize of arrows, he will need at least one more to be able to do the kind of optimal Landmo 2 fight.
And then we'll need some arrows for Ganon, too.
Ideally, yes. Although at that point you have a few more options between the stun prize and the arrows under the pot in the room that Hayfield just went through there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hayfield not having any problems on Landmo 2 and making his way through the Wiz Road rooms here.
It's a pretty good gauntlet by Shady, but does not have arrows for Landmo 2. I think this is unfortunate. Loses some time there, but does get the 0 cycle.
Yeah, the cycle ends up being the same. I think that'll work itself out just fine, and with half magic, he won't really feel it that much. Gets the arrows out of the pot there. So they're on the same floor again, but it's still, just a few rooms ahead for Hayfield, been maintaining that lead here through the back half of the seed. And so, Moldorm 2, Aga 2, those fights are going to be really important for Hayfield to get through cleanly here.
Yeah, Shady's got a tiny advantage on Aga 2 with that Cana Burna. I guess using Cana Burna to avoid blue balls is more of a fast ROM strat, I think. But
if anything, the advantage that Shady Force has on Aga 2 is that Zelga can watch Hayfield stream and tell him what the patterns are going to be, at least for those first couple cycles, and maybe you can steal a 2 or a 3 here on something that's a one or a one hit for Hayfield.
Yeah, Cana Burna Aga 2. Yeah, probably not in fast ROM, or probably not in slow ROM. Oh, wow. Triple right off the bat.
Not going to need any spoiler help for that one. And that sounded like a double.
I don't know. It's not. You can be safe to get that last hit. Yeah.
Yeah. Very clean Aga 2 fight there from Hayfield. So he will be first into Ganon today as well. Still about a 30-second difference here for Shady entering into the Aga 2 fight.
Yeah, don't fall, basically.
And there's a nice triple on phase 1 for Shady Force as well.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, probably all you could get here.
Yeah, and Shady unfortunately got the double, the simultaneous hit on that second phase.
That's unfortunate.
Does get it cleaned up, but one extra phase there for him on Aga 2.
And Hayfield in Oko to a Ganon hug.
Well, then just don't hug Ganon.
Yeah. All right. Nice 1-and-1 setup here. Oh, the hook!
Did he get enough hits there on phase 2?
I don't know. Oh, he did not.
Okay, so extra phase 2 cycle will be good, what, 12 seconds, something like that? I don't know exactly, but gonna be a little bit of time given back here.
Oh
no, and
no, dude.
The spinning trident gets Shady down there in the corner,
and that'll do it.
That'll reset the fight for him. Meanwhile, very, very quick clean. Can we get the triple here? Oh, not quite, but we're going to clean it up here. Very nice phase 4 for Hayfield Bay. Going to take down Ganon, get across that bridge here, and win this race for the Noble Foxes.
Noble Foxes, a bit of an upset, taking the win over the Spoilers. I think it's always an upset to beat these guys in Spoiler Week. GG's to Hayfield Bay, and nobly finished with an official racetime.gg time of 53 minutes, 55 seconds. GG's. Picking up 3 points for their team.
I'm sorry, this Ganon music.
That's so good.
I'm losing it. Oh god, how do people play this game? Anyway, Shady Force gonna put 4 silver rares into Ganon. Gonna finish this race in second place here. Get your GGs in chat for Shady Force and for Zelga of the Spoilers.
GGs. And the Spoilers finishing with an official racetime.gg time, 54 minutes and 48 seconds. GG's. Hopefully we will get everybody in here for an interview. We're joined first by Hayfield and Nobly. GG's.
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 And there is Zelga. GG's to you.
Yo, GG's. I'm not sure if Shady's able to join, but I can talk us through what happened on our end at least.
All right. Thanks. So GG's, everybody. This was a really fun one to watch because I think with Spoiler, you often see some similar routes, and you guys had some wild divergence for the first half of the season. It was really fun to watch, and I think that that divergence came about, I think largely because where the boots were, and Hayfield and Noble, you guys were first to the boots by about 10 minutes. What was your thought process there on putting off the flute and whatnot and getting those boots as soon as you could?
It was general money issue early game. I didn't like plan on early Zora, so I was like, okay. I know there was a 300 in Eastern, so I was like, okay, if we can just grab everything we need for Eastern at one go, we can just quickly do that and get the 300 for flute, and then we could route in Aga alone, and Pod we can just do alone by itself later. So it didn't really speed up Pod Eastern play. Because if you do Pod Eastern together, then you don't have boots for either. So we kind of get stuck there for some time, I felt. So
yeah, and then go ahead.
Yeah, that was like my initial plan. Like when I saw where things were, like the flute was not really in a good spot. The boots were like a bit later than you wanted, because you had to like do in my opinion, the more slow dungeon thieves down without boots. So.
And then Zelga, what? I guess I have the same question to you. You guys did a dip over into the Saha Eastern area for that tempered sword and the 300 in the Eastern Palace map chest. What was your thought process there?
Yeah, that was honestly my call, and I was thinking that the boots were deeper than they were. I saw that it was the only available castle tower key was the Eastern Big Chest, which was behind the Thieves Big, and I was thinking that was just a little bit too deep, and it really wasn't given where the Thieves Big was. So I definitely think that they found the better route for sure in terms of the opening choice, because we put off the boots a little bit too long, and having an early flute is great, same for an early mirror, but I don't think the value was quite as good as I was thinking it was in my head.
Yeah, and it was tough for us, because we're trying to discern everything at the same time you guys are parsing through the log and, seeing both of the different strategies playing out and trying to figure out which one, it wasn't really clear to us which one was going to work out better, either. You kind of just have, you get that feeling of you have to just commit to something rather than hemming and hawing back and forth and not accomplishing anything towards either flute or boots. Yeah, and this seed was particularly mean with the money issue. That 300 in Eastern was, I think, the only 300 or even the 100, haha, on pedestal that was accessible to you for any portion of the seed. So, you guys made your play and committed to it, and it just, I think, Nobly kind of laid it out in that. In this case, there wasn't a lot of advantage of combining Pod and Eastern like there is in a lot of other seeds.
Yeah, and I was thinking the other deciding thing I was thinking was that when you do Thieves, that if you have the mirror already, you just get the Blacksmith as well, and then you can just go ahead up into Skull. But then the other thing is that I just flat out missed the Swamp Small, and that's totally on me. And no matter how the whole Boots Flute thing routed out, missing the Swamp Small is just indefensible when I had enough time, and it's basically the difference in the race. So
yeah,
that's totally on me and some of the stress of doing pilot spoiler. So
this mode has such a small margin for error on the part of both the runner and the pilot. It's very, very stressful, very difficult. So it even some of the best, will miss something like that every once in a while. And it was, super close at the end. Shady made up a ton of time. We're looking when y'all converged, it was about a little bit over a minute difference, and by the time we were getting to the top of GT, Shady had made up about like 30 seconds of it, so we were well within a Ganon fall or death on Hayfield's part for that to come together. So unfortunate to have something that small play out like that.
Once Hayfield was heading to the mountain, I was like, you just breathe, Hayfield. You have time. You can just, I'm watching this from behind as well. So I was like, just breathe, Hayfield. You're ahead. You can just take your time, calm, just get everything done. You have the time. You don't have to be fancy.
The role of pilot as not just the person who reads the log and all of that, but also the psychiatrist to coach someone through the end of the seed is an underrated role in the job.
I really didn't wanna know where I were at, but it was like from GT on there, I heard I had a small lead. So yeah, breathe, Hayfield. It will just focus now, and everything went pretty well, but I was a bit stressed with Ganon. What happened there? First time I hookshot over to the other side. I felt, if I mess it up because of that, my heart started pumping there. But eventually I had a bit of extra seconds there.
Yeah, I mean, it's as I told Hayfield once he finished, because I was like saying to him, like, you're fine, just take your time, chill, you know, it's fine. You are ahead. Just breathe. And then I muted myself because I wasn't breathing. Because I knew that within one mistake or anything, we were doomed. So, like, yeah. So.
Can we talk about, there was some discussion in chat about your routes up to Tower of Hera and GT. And this is something that has been, I think, thrown around. There's a lot of misinformation about what's faster here. You both needed to do Tower of Hera. Neither of you needed to do Turtle Rock. Hayfield and Nobly, you guys went up through Super Bunny, which is what I thought, I think is probably what I would have done. Zelga, you and Shady went up and did Tower of Hera first, which I was surprised that you did. So, is that faster? Do you know that for a fact? Or what's the deal there?
No clue. We were literally talking about it as we were doing it. So, you know,
right, good to know.
Especially like it was kind of just a split second decision that Shady went up that way. But honestly, in the context of the race, I think it was actually great because little divergences were probably our best chance whenever you have situations like this where you know you're slightly behind.
Oh, so, there's Shady in chat, by the way, confirming that he did it by accident. So
yeah, I mean, we also wanted a heart container in
Super Bunny.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I did notice that one. We didn't call that one out on the restream, but it was something that we noticed. Like, oh yeah, they do get that 7th heart, which is kind of nice.
I mean, if you're looking at it, the only reason I told Hayfield to pick it up was so we could have both 54 collection rate, right?
yes, obviously.
Oh man, now I got to figure out what we picked up that you didn't.
A heart piece, probably in Spike chest in Ice Palace.
No, we skipped that.
Well, you have a heart piece more, at least.
Yeah, it was Burna. It was Cane of Burna. It was Cane of Burna.
Oh yeah, I just told Shady to do everything in the back of Sahasrahla.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't do that at all. So.
Yeah, I was a little surprised you guys dodged that sword there, and went for the one in pod instead. I guess it's pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, if you're asking me if I'm gonna do Saha to get a sword when I have to go and well, I didn't have to go and make Hayfield get the silvers in pod, but like the sword was like literally right there.
Yeah, it's right there in the basement.
So I was like, if you don't do early Saha for a temper, then it doesn't really matter if you do. The only thing we were discussing was if we wanted to do pod with no fire source. To have tempered for Swamp Palace.
That is what Zelga and Shady did. So yeah, there's an interesting trade-off there.
I was like, well, we have a blue potion, but do we really want to waste it on doing Dark Turtles with no fire rod, no lamp? Like,
yeah, the one thing that Shady did really well there was make use of the bombos in the turtle room. That made it a pretty quick clear for him there. Even without the actual visible fire source.
Yeah. I was also thinking about that, but then I said, like, I don't want to put Hayfield into too much stress during a race as well, because, like, when we are talking, you know, and he's doing a thing, if I tell him something, then he can forget the last thing I said, and then it becomes like, where did I want to go? So I was like, less stress for Hayfield, the better he plays. And
I appreciate that. That pod turtles, even with the bombos, usually fine. But so when I get the choice, just give me a slower fight with Argus.
It's always tougher when someone else tells you, "Okay, you're going to go do a dark pod fight now."
Oh, really? Oh, I am? Okay. Well, sure.
Yeah, that's part of the thing here. I never actually told Shady. I just kind of like, oh, we're going to pod now, and then I was like, oh wait, how do you feel about Dark Turtles? Like, oh, we're going to Castle Tower now. Wait, how do you feel about Dark Castle Tower? I just never even gave him the option.
It's okay. Yeah. Yesterday I messed up my race with Relkin, and we were intending to pick up Fire Rod before going to pod, but we both forgot. So it was just like, we were on the way there. I was like, oh, by the way, you're doing Dark Turtles now. Good luck.
Was this your first matchup or your second matchup for the week?
This is the first. It's gonna be me and Obscure for the second one. Probably Friday or Sunday, depending on Selga and Shady.
Yeah, we were just talking about. I think Sunday will work better, but we can talk about it together. But And yeah, we're just swapping off roles. I'll be the runner next time, and Shady will be piloting me.
We are still undecided.
Ooh.
Yeah, yes. Obscure initially didn't want to play at all, but I was like, but either you're spoiling or either I'm running. It's we'll see on like closer. It's a little bit
Should be fun. We've got more rando coming up on SpeedGaming Prime today at 7 Eastern. At the top of the hour, we've got the Tile Removers versus Sawhawks kids, Jamie Sher and Artie Walsh versus Talon and Gilgamesh. That should be a good one. We need a tracker for that match. So get a tracker, sign up to be a tracker for that match, get into the league Discord and do that. And then later on tonight at 10 Eastern, we've got Fluff Around and Find Out versus the Salt Miners. That is Wolfie and Telethar being piloted by somebody. Doesn't say. So thanks everybody. Thank you to Nobly and Obscure, Nobly and Hayfield, excuse me. Obscure's the other member of the team, who just had to leave.
Thanks, Obscure.
Yeah, thanks, Obscure. Good job.
Thanks, Marty.
And thanks to Zelga and Shady as well. GG's.
Yeah.
Yep. Big GGs. Thanks again.
Will, this was a delight. Why don't we do this more often?
Okay, great. Let's do that.
All right. Stick around. More rando at the top of the hour. Thanks,
Yep.
Pixcalibur, for hitting the buttons for us.
Yeah. Thank you,
And,
Pix, for tracking tonight, and looking forward to more spoiler pilot craziness for the rest of the week. So stick around, check out all the SpeedGaming channels, ALTTPR League, and get involved. Help calm, help track. Just come hang out in the chat. But we love having people here. So
Thanks, nerds. See you later. Bye.
bye bye.